Welcome! Let me show you how to make this cute and simple heart doily. You will need two different color yarns. I'm using DK weight yarn, some scissors, a 3.75mm crochet hook, and I'll be using a smaller crochet hook so I can hide the ends when I'm finished. That part is optional. Let's get started. Grab your main color and you can start with a magic ring or by making a slip knot. Add your hook, chain 4, and join the 4th chain with the 1st chain to make your ring. Like this. Then we'll start by crocheting a granny square. If you'd like to skip to the next step after finishing the granny square, jump to this timestamp. So I will be chaining 3, double crocheting into the ring twice, and then chaining 2. Next, double crochet 3 times into the ring. Here's 1. Here's 2. And here's the last one in this cluster. And then chain 2. And then you're going to double crochet 3 more times. Go ahead and do this 2 more times until you have 4 groups of double crochets, and you're going to end with chaining 2 at the end. I'll see you in a bit. As you finish up your last set of double crochet stitches, chain 2 one more time and join your work with a slip stitch on the 3rd chain from when you began this round. Here we are. Okay, so for round 2, I will slip stitch into a couple of stitches until I make it to that first gap in the corner of this little square. Then I will slip stitch into that gap, and then I will chain 3 and double crochet twice. So chain 3, double crochet one more time. Okay, now we need to make another corner, so we're going to chain 2. And then you're going to double crochet into that same gap 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And to make a space, I'm just going to chain 1 and then go straight into the next gap and start double crocheting 3 times, chaining 2, and then double crocheting 3 more times into that same space. So keep doing that until you make it all the way around. Okay, so here I am, and we're just going to join those last 2 chains with the 3rd chain from when we started this round, and I'm going to join it with a slip stitch. And here we are. Now this part, I'm going to chain 1 and I'm going to single crochet a couple of times here because I want to make it to the first corner of this granny square. All right, so here we are. Now I'm just going to, we want to cover this side and the next side that connects to it with single crochets to add a border. That way we can keep working on it in the next round before we start adding the new color. So go ahead and start single crocheting on this side. Then you'll make it to the corner and go ahead and start single crocheting onto the next side. And I'll show you what that looks like here when I'm done in a second. All right, here I am finishing that up. I will single crochet into that gap. And here we are. You'll see there are two sides that don't have single crochets. That's where we're going to be adding the next part of the heart. And then you see the bottom part of the heart does have single crochets around it. So let's go ahead and get started. We are going to treble crochet 7 times into the gap of the granny square. I'm just wrapping this up, and you can see how it's already starting to take shape as we're adding more of the triple crochet stitches into that gap. So what you're going to do for your last triple crochet is that you're going to join it into the corner of the heart with a slip stitch. And there you are. Now let's go ahead and focus on the last part of this. And for that, we're going to repeat what we did in the previous step. We're going to triple crochet 7 times into the next gap of your granny square. Here's 1, 2, and then I'll show you how to finish this off here in a couple seconds. All right, here we are. And here's how it's looking so far. So now you're going to join that last stitch with the corner of your granny square using a slip stitch. And there we are. Now I'm just going to pull the yarn through and cut it. And I think I'm going to hide the ends real quick before we go into the next step, just to keep the work nice and clean. But yeah, here's your heart so far. So at that point, if you just need a basic little heart, you're good to go. But if you want to keep going and add a scallop border, I will show you how to do that with the white yarn. Okay, the next step is to add your second color. We will add loops around the heart first, and then we will add the scallop border. First thing I'll do is grab the heart, and from the pointy end, I will insert my crochet hook like this, and then I'll pull a slip knot of the white yarn through from the back of the work to the front of the work like this. Then I'll go ahead and chain 3. Then we will join our chain by skipping a stitch and joining with a slip stitch into the next stitch. Then chain 3 and follow the same process all the way around. So here we are, joining with a slip stitch, chaining 3, skipping a stitch, and then joining again. I will see you at the end of this round. All right, this is the final round. Once you've gotten to the end and made your last 3 chains, go ahead and join it into the last stitch with a slip stitch. Now to form the scallop border, we will single crochet into the loop that we first made. Then you're going to half double crochet 3 times into the loop, and then you will end with a single crochet. Do this all the way around until you've covered each of your loops. Then I will show you how to finish it off. Just for reference, you can see how I'm doing it and how it's taking shape. There you go. And yeah, just keep going. All right, here we made it to the end. I'm going to go ahead and finish this last loop. And I'm gonna do my last single crochet. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do a slip stitch and just pull my work or pull my yarn right through this loop. Cut the yarn off, pull it through. All right, here we are. This is our completed heart doily crochet pattern. Let me give you a closer look. So here's what yours should look like. And as always, go ahead and hide your ends to make it look nice and neat. Okay, now we're done. It's beautiful, it's perfect, it's ready to use on, if you don't have any plans for it at this moment, some ideas could be using it as a patch on a sweater. You could use it as a patch on like a decorative pillow, for example. You could also make a bunch of these and string them together. What I decided to do was to maybe attach it to a blank greeting card, and then I can make my own Valentine's cards for my friends. What do you think you would do with this one? I'm curious. I'm always looking for ideas or ways that we can display them and just show them off to the world. Okay, here it is, final result, ready to give to a friend. Thank you so much for joining me in this tutorial. Hope you had fun. Happy Valentine's Day!